Okay, so it's been, what, 2 years? 2 years of buzz since Louis Vuitton announced Daniel Roth was coming back.
Yeah, it feels like a long wait, doesn't it?
It really does. We saw those first tourbillon, the yellow gold, the rose gold, clear nods to the C187, obviously.
Absolutely spectacular pieces, no question. Real statement makers.
But this new one, the extra Plat rose gold, this feels, I don't know, more like the core of it. Like getting back to his original vision, maybe.
I think you're spot on. The tourbillons grab headlines, but this extra Plat, it speaks directly to those foundational time-only watches, the C107.
Right, so that's our mission today, really. For you listening, we want to dig into why this watch is a big deal, how it connects to the past, and, what makes it stand out today.
Exactly. We've got some great background here to help us unpack it all. It's quite a story.
Let's start right at the beginning then. Daniel Roth. I mean, for anyone maybe newer to this, he wasn't just some guy. He was huge, especially for Breguet in the 80s.
Oh, absolutely pivotal. His work there was fundamental in bringing Breguet back, reestablishing that historical weight and prestige. He had such a distinct style.
And a real respect for the craft, you can see that.
Definitely. Deep respect for traditional techniques.
So he takes all that experience, that vision, and boom, 1989, launches his own brand. The tourbillon C187 gets a lot of the attention, understandably.
Okay, it's the icon, for sure. That double ellipse case.
But it wasn't the only thing he launched early on, was it?
No, not at all. Just a year later, 1990, comes the extra Plat automatic, reference C107. And, while maybe less flashy than the tourbillon, you could argue it was just as important for defining the Daniel Roth look.
Okay, so it showed what the brand was about beyond just the super complex stuff.
Precisely. It established that core design language.
So what was the C107 like? What made it special, more than just another thin gold watch from that time?
Well, it was pure, understated elegance, but with real character. Think about it. Discreet, thin, time only. All the dress watch essentials. But the magic, really, was that case shape, the ellipsocurvex. Not round, not square. Just this unique, beautiful curve. Instantly recognizable Daniel Roth.
Became the signature. Yeah, and the size was pretty refined, thinking about watches today.
Oh, yeah. Very refined. 38 millimeters long, 35 wide, and just 6.7 millimeters thick. Super slim.
Wow.
Came in yellow, white, pink, gold, the classics.
And the engine inside, what was powering it?
It used the Frederick Piguet 71 automatic, a really well-regarded super thin movement itself, only 2.4 millimeters thick, with an off-center micro rotor.
Ah.
And the interesting thing is, Roth knew this movement well from his Breguet days, so it made perfect sense. Reliable, elegant, thin.
Right, a known quantity for him. And wasn't there a hand-wound version too, the C167?
That's right, yeah, the midi Plat. Almost the same thickness, actually, just a hair more at 6.8 millimeter. So yeah, thinness was clearly a major focus for his time-only pieces right from the start.
Okay, so that sets the scene. Unique case, thinness, elegance.
Exactly, that's the DNA. And this new extra Plat, it draws directly on that lineage. Very effectively, I think.
Which leads us nicely to the modern watch. But first, there was that yellow gold Souscription model earlier this year, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Sort of paved the way.
It did, yeah. That was the first glimpse of the modern extra Plat. Limited run, just 20 pieces, very much positioned as a faithful tribute.
How so?
Well, it had a closed case back, like some originals, and a really classic yellow gold dial, Clou de Paris guilloche, that lovely hobnail pattern, and these striking blued numerals and hands. Very traditional.
Got it. So really anchoring it in the history first.
Exactly. And it followed the same strategy as the tourbillon limited Souscription first, creates buzz, gives dedicated collectors a chance at something really special, really close to the source.
Smart. Okay, now the main event. The new Daniel Roth Extra Plat Rose Gold Edition. This is the follow-up, the non-limited one, just like with the tourbillon.
That's the one. Takes that same basic formula, but opens it up. Rose gold obviously gives it a warmer feel. And the dial, well, that's where things get quite different stylistically, while still nodding to the past.
Rose gold is definitely popular, maybe feels a bit more contemporary than yellow gold sometimes. But the dial, pinstripes, you said that has history too.
It does, yeah. This guilloche en ligne, the pinstripe pattern in gray and gold.
Yeah.
That's a look Roth used back when he was running his own company before it changed hands.
Ah, interesting. So it's not just a random pattern, it's a specific reference.
A very deliberate one, yeah. Taps into a different part of the brand's aesthetic history.
Okay, let's talk about the case itself. Still that signature ellipsocurvex shape, which is key.
Absolutely central. It's now in 5N rose gold, which is that richer, warmer alloy. And it's fully polished, really shows off those curves.
Hmm.
And you still have that perfectly centered gadroon, that sort of raised belt around the middle, adds balance. Dimensions are basically the same as the Souscription, 38.6 millimeters long, 35.5 millimeters wide. The thickness is 7.70 millers.
Okay, so about a millimeter thicker than the original C107 automatic.
Yeah, slightly thicker, probably down to the new movement architecture. And crucially, this one has a sapphire case back. The Souscription was closed, remember?
Right, right. So you can see the movement now. But still, 7.7 millimeter, definitely still extra Plat, still thin.
Oh, absolutely. It keeps that commitment to thinness. And despite being a fraction thicker, it still has that great wrist presence. Elegant but noticeable thanks to the shape.
And they tweaked the lugs too.
Yeah, they're a bit more angled now, hand soldered. Should make it sit even better on the wrist. Improve comfort. Comes on a nice beige grained calfskin strap. Simple pin buckle. Keeps the focus on the head.
Makes sense. Okay, let's zoom in on that dial again, because you said that's the biggest visual shift from the yellow gold one. Pinstripes, gray and gold. How does that work with the rose gold case?
It creates a really sophisticated look. Maybe a little less overtly traditional than the Clous de Paris, perhaps. The base of the dial is actually white gold.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then the chapter ring, where the numerals are, that's rose gold. And separating the different zones, you've got these 3 super fine engraved lines. It's called filet sauté guilloche. Adds a subtle texture, a bit of visual separation, very nice detail.
I'll lick it. And the text, the hands, what's the approach there?
All the print, the logo, the serial number, the Roman numerals, it's all done in black. Gives great contrast against the gray and gold, easy to read. And the hands are polished steel, but they've got a black coating. Ties it all together nicely, keeps it legible.
Okay, so visually, definitely its own thing compared to the Souscription. Different vibe, but still feels very Daniel Roth. But the really exciting part for many, I guess, is seeing that movement through the back, the DR002. Tell us about this.
Yeah, this is where it gets really compelling, I think. The caliber DR002 is a hand-wound movement, and crucially, it was developed specifically for this extra Plat collection by Michel Navas and Enrico Barbacini at La Fabrique du Temps, Louis Vuitton, the LVMH high-end movement specialists. And even though it's totally different from the DR001 tourbillon movement, you can see a sort of shared design language. It feels coherent.
So this isn't just grabbing a movement off the shelf. They built this from scratch for this watch.
From the ground up, which really signals, Louis Vuitton's serious commitment here. This isn't just badge engineering. They're investing properly in the watchmaking.
That's significant.
It really is. And they've even hinted that this DR0002 could be a base for future complications. They mention things like maybe a papillon display, those butterfly wing indicators Roth used, or even a perpetual calendar.
Wow, okay. An extra Plat QP, that would be something else.
Wouldn't it? But focusing on the DR002 for now, technically, what are we looking at?
Yeah, the specs.
It's a shaped movement designed specifically to fit that ellipsocurvex case. Measures 31 millimeter by 28 millimeters, and it's very thin itself, only 3.1 millimeter.
Impressive.
It has 143 parts. Features a modern free-sprung balance beating at 4 Hertz. That's 28,800 VPH with variable inertia weights for precise regulation. And it has a pretty big mainspring barrel, giving it a solid 65-hour power reserve.
Nice. And the decoration, Roth's originals, were always beautifully finished.
The finishing looks excellent, just what you'd expect. Circular graining on the main plate, Geneva stripes on the bridges, and importantly, hand-polished chamfers, including those tricky, sharp internal angles. That's proper high-end finishing, takes real skill. They clearly put a lot of thought into how it looks, not just how it performs.
So you've got the iconic shape, this beautiful dial with history, and a brand new, bespoke, beautifully finished movement. Availability. Price.
Well, good news is it's a non-limited edition, unlike the Souscription, so more people will theoretically have a chance. That said, word is production will still be quite limited. It's not going to be mass-produced.
Naturally. And the price tag.
It's set at 49,000 Swiss francs, excluding taxes.
Okay. Significant, definitely. But reflects the bespoke movement, the hand finishing, the name, the whole package under LVMH.
Exactly. It's playing in that serious collector's league.
So let's wrap this up. Key takeaways for you listening. What's the essence of this new Daniel Roth Extra Plat Rose Gold?
I think for me, it's that successful blend. You've got the classic Daniel Roth design DNA. That case shape is unmistakable, but it's executed with modern LVMH watchmaking muscle. It's not just a reissue, it's an evolution.
Yeah, evolution feels like the right word.
You see the iconic case, this elegant dial now with that pinstripe link to the past and this fantastic new movement built just for it. It really feels like a serious long-term commitment to doing the Daniel Roth legacy justice.
Absolutely. If you appreciate elegant watches, watches with a real history and a unique design signature, this has got to be on your radar. It feels like more than just a watch. It's
Yeah.
like owning a piece of thoughtfully revived history.
Well said. And it makes you think, doesn't it? Thinking about this revival, what other classic watch designs out there deserve this kind of thoughtful treatment? Blending heritage with maybe some subtle modern tech or finishing, but without losing the original soul.
That's a great question to leave people with. Where's that line between respectful revival and just changing things too much?
Exactly. It's a fascinating challenge in watchmaking today, balancing the past and the future.